Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet. Madden 17, Pittsburgh Steelers franchise here. This is Steeler Nation, and this is episode 24 as we take a quick look here and review what happened in weeks 13 and 14. So, crazy weeks 13 and 14. We'll take a look here at that here in just a bit. But so far, we're getting close. I mean, we are almost to our, doing a great thing here, which is going undefeated with these Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, last year we could have did that against for the championship and everything, but we had hung up here as we take a look here. This was Andy Dalton and the Bengals here in week 13. Now, I believe it was week, I want to say 15 last season. We play against these guys. They beat us, and they beat us pretty good there in Cincinnati. Now, this year, not so the case. We beat them twice, and when we won this one 40-17, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was what the final score was. But Andy Dalton there, you see 197 yards with one touchdown with 2 interceptions, completing only 48% of his passes there. So we really did a great job there roughing him up, just like a week prior, where the Kansas City Chiefs did the same thing. So 2 weeks in a row there, he had a really bad game, and we're kind of glad that we were able to get at him at as many times as we could. I think we sacked him at least 2 or 3 times there. But the running game, we had a nice running game. Almost came up with 100 yards there for Cobb. He's been doing a great job trying to get back, or trying to keep up with the workload what a fullback needs to do, especially. Or not football, halfback needs to do in the NFL, especially when you're the backup and the starter is down. But of course, Bell will come back in the game against the Browns here. We'll see his numbers here in a bit, but he comes up shy of getting a touchdown there. We tried our best there, but just couldn't do it, and also came up about 6 yards, about 7 yards shy of getting 100 yards there for him. Take a look at the receiving numbers there. Great day there for the receivers. I believe, as always, Green had over 100 yards there, 141 yards, 1 touchdown. And there you see our boy, Jesse James, trying to get him into the mix there. I've been working on some play sets there where we're not going to work at Green so much here as we go into the last part, or the final games here coming up here. I think in week 16 and 17, I think we're going to have Jesse play both games. We're going to kind of rest Green there, which I know a lot of people don't like that. You should play, hey, play all the way through, play all 17 weeks. You got a bye week coming up anyway. But I want to kind of get Green. I want to kind of get Green. I don't want them to be so focused on Green. I want them to at least be focused. The idea is have them focus on Green, but really we want to work with Jesse a little bit more when it comes to the tight end position, because Jesse is, for right now, he's going to be the guy that's going to take over that tight end position when Green does retire. And I don't know exactly how old Green is, but we're working, trying to get Jesse to be the next guy coming up when it comes to the tight end position. But yeah, take a look at the sacks there. Dunlap had a sack on us. So did I think it's Small. He had a sack on us, and of course, we had a couple sacks in that game also. So a really good game there. I was not really expecting us to kind of run away with it. I mean, it was, as always, a little tight in the first half there and stuff. But then once we got to the latter part of the second quarter, going to the third quarter and stuff like that, we pretty much took over, and we pretty much had this game, in the bag for us, to say the least. But yeah, I mean, that was the game plan going into that game. Was really getting, because of course they didn't have Eiffel in that game. He's been out because of injury, so that really helped us out in the tight end situation. Green for whatever reason was a non-factor in this game, which I really thought that was going to be the case. I think he did score 1 touchdown on us, but for the most part, I think it was like maybe a 20-something yard touchdown. But it wasn't as big a factor as we thought it would be. So it was really nice to be able to control that game and really control his offense there. Let him only throw one where we want him to throw. As for the next game here, week 14, this one I knew was going to be a little tough. I didn't think it was going to be as tough as I thought it was. Taking a look at here, Matthew Stafford, 359 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception there for him. He got sacked 4 times. Ben, 447 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And, of course, he got sacked twice. He completed 67% of his passes. As for Stafford, 73% of his passes were completed. But, both teams were going in there 12-0. They're coming in as a 9-3 team, leading the NFC North and beating the Packers. I think they defeated the Packers. I think they played them already once already. I think they got to play them here soon, here in the last 3 games. But they've also beat. They did a good job against the Vikings. Of course, the Vikings right now are having a horrible time in their division and having a horrible year with all the injuries they've had. And then also, too, against the Bears. The Bears, of course, not playing really well there. So, really, it's just between those 2 teams. And, yeah, this one, I was really surprised how well they were playing. And they did a great job there, especially towards the end of the game there where they got Bell, hit him with that brutal hit there. He fumbled the ball. They were able to scoop it up. Wasn't able to take it back for a pick 6, but they were able to take that turnover and turn it over into points. And then, of course, they were down by 2. They went for a 2-point conversion and got it and forced us to go into overtime. And we did go over overtime. We got possession first. And, of course, in the new overtime rules, first team to score a touchdown, the ball game is over with. But if you're only able to score 3 points, the other team, of course, gets a chance to come in and either tie the game back up or score a touchdown, and then, of course, the game will be over with. Lions did a great job forcing us to go to overtime and, put that undefeated record on the line. I think I jinxed us because I think I said in the beginning of the video, I think what I said was we were 13-0, but we're actually 12-0. So now we can say we're 13-0 going into Week 15, and we're looking to be 14-0 going against we'll try to win our 14th game against the Browns. But, hey, we're going to stop here first and just enjoy this win first before we get psyched about playing or trying to win that game against the Browns. But there you see, take a look at some of the defensive numbers there so far here this season. And, again, just a great game. I mean, great tug of war between these 2 teams. And I got to tip my hat off to the Lions because, quite honestly, kind of going off script here and kind of going off, out of character here. Every time I play against the Lions in any series, now if you guys remember in the Green Bay Packers series, we had that really great game against them. They had their 3rd-string quarterback in there who just, pretty much almost just by him alone murdered my team, and put us in some hairy and sticky situations in that series there. And it's just, I like games like that. That's really fun and exciting. If games like that, I don't care if we win or lose. I mean, I care about if we win because I want to win, but at the same time, it's like, wow, that was a good game. I can't wait to play him again. Hopefully I get to face him in that same squad at once, the next time around. And there were some games that they really put us to the test there, and they did the same thing in this one. So I hope we can play against the Lions next year. I know that they don't always have to play the same teams. You got every 2 or 3 years you have a round robin of playing different divisions within the other conference. So yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to here with that, especially with Matthew Stafford and Abram and all those guys there. Take a look here at the standings as we roll on here now and go in the standings there. 13-0. We already clinched the first round bye. So we do have a bye going once the playoffs start. Won't be seen until the divisional round. There you see the Ravens right now. They're at 2-10-1. Man, they are really bad there. They are really stinking up. Now this is even worse. The Colts 5-6-2. Yeah, 2. They've tied twice now already this season. There's been quite a few ties this year in this franchise. So wow, that's crazy. Never seen that many ties in one season. I had to look that up. How many times there was ties in a season, especially by one team. There you see the Bills, Patriots, and Dolphins and Jets there. Bills playing really good football right there. I'm so glad to see that happen because I'm, a lot of you guys know me. I'm not a Patriots fan at all, and I always love to see the Patriots get creamed. Currently, right now in the AFC West, the Chiefs and Chargers are tied up 7-6. As for the Broncos and Raiders, 5-8. So that one right there, that you can see what two teams are playing that one. Lions 9-4, Packers 7-6, Vikings 3-9-1, and the Bears 3-10. Oh man, Bears, what is going on there? You guys really got some things going on. Really, I don't know. I mean, their defense and everything. I can't. There's no words to explain it. As for the NFC South, you got the Saints, who clinched their division. Falcons 8-3-2. That's another team that got 2 losses or 2 ties this season. Panthers 7-6, and then of course the Bucks 5-8 there. And they are definitely just Saints are just as always dominating that division. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at the East here in the NFC East. You got the Giants and Eagles. Both are 10-3. Cowboys 6-7, and the Redskins 4-9. So yeah, we'll see how that goes with the Eagles and Giants right there. I think they have a game coming up there, so that one game that they have coming up is going to really decide who's going to take the division, and of course who's going to be in the playoffs. As for the NFC West, take a look here. You got the Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams, and 49ers there. Seahawks 12-1. They finally lost a game there. They were tied. They were up just like us. They were undefeated, and they finally ended up getting a loss there. So we'll have to see if so far we're the only undefeated team here, and there's still 3 more weeks left. So anything is possible there in that situation. But right now the heavy favorites are, of course, us in the AFC, and of course in the NFC, the Seahawks. So that is your preview right there, pretty much what the Super Bowl could be looking like. And then, of course, if the season ended today, there you see the team with the number 1 pick would be the 49ers. 2-11 there. Actually, it would be between the Rams and the 49ers there. Of course, I think it would be like some kind of coin flip or something based on that. But then we'll take a look here at your top players of Week 13. Take a look at Neal and Cousins. There you see the NFC Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week. Rivers, they had a great game there that week. And, of course, still playing with the Chargers there. As he's the offensive AFC player. And then, of course, the defensive player there for the Ravens, surprisingly enough, is Lewis there. So, nice job, nice, decent week there. Like I said, they are having a really tough time there in Baltimore. And, I shouldn't be sad for them because they are in my division, but at the same time, it's like they got to be more competitive. There's some of those games we played against them, it's like, oh man, this is brutal. But they are having a lot of injuries on that team, something that they need to change for next season. As for Week 14, you got Cousins again getting Offensive Player of the NFC. He's having a really great year there, and even though his team is not showing that. And then Luck for the AFC offense, and then there you see the defensive players there. Von Miller, your defensive player there in the AFC. Why not? Great player. Has some pretty good season there, especially winning that Super Bowl, just 2 seasons. Well, at least in this series 2 seasons ago. But go ahead and take a look at some of the numbers here, stats so far here. And there you see 23 interceptions, man. It is getting brutal. I think Ben is really getting at that. He's started to digress some, and that is what we've been looking at here. We've been looking at some quarterbacks going into, getting ready for the off season here. There are a few quarterbacks we're looking at right now, but for the most part here, Ben has not been, his numbers have not drastically changed compared to last season. Yes, he's throwing more picks. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that factor. One of them being the offensive line needs to be a lot stronger when it comes to the passing. Even though he has thrown 43 touchdowns this year, there's still some holes there. There's been a couple guys that we've been looking at on the offensive line there that we may end up changing here as we go along here in the next couple weeks and going to the playoffs. But we've been looking at offensive line players for next season because that's what our goal is. But of course, our main goal for this whole series is really to strengthen that defense. So we are looking at some linebackers there. both both on the outside and the inside. And also we're looking, looking at the offensive line. There you see some of the offensive line players that have let some sacks go through. And there you see Gilbert right there. 6 sacks that he has given up this season. Not what we want to see on our right side there. That's been really crucial for us here this year. And we're going to have to try to find some kind of patch to put on that for now, and address that during the draft. Because if we don't, that's going to be our Achilles heel, especially when it comes to the running game. That running, the blocking there is just so horrible. We've had some, little bit of burst of, them blocking very well and open up holes up, but at the same time, there's been a lot of games where they have not opened the hole up for Baer to run through, and he gets snagged in the back, and it's like, this shouldn't be happening, guys. You got to open up the hole long enough so he can burst through there. After that, you can do whatever, but just block up so there's a hole there so he can run through. And a lot of times it's, the A gap falls apart and the B gap's like, okay, there should be a B gap. Where's the B gap at? And he doesn't get through it. So, that one even implodes at times. So it's really hard where he has to go all the way on the outside. And of course, if he gets caught out there, that's gonna be a lot of yards lost there. So that is something we're looking at when it comes to drafting players wise. I was gonna see if I was gonna try to add that into this episode here today, but I think we're gonna wait and probably show you guys a little bit of that maybe during the wild card round. We'll show you guys some of the players we're gonna be looking at when it comes to that. Or again, we may just wait until after the offseason and then have some individual episodes. So just looking at breaking it down from position by position of teams that were, or not teams, but players we're looking at by position, and kind of breaking it down of who we're looking at. Because right now my watch list is just going crazy. I'm taking guys off the watch list and I'm adding guys to it, and so right now the board looks a little crazy right now. I do have some heavy favorites of some offensive linemen that I do want to look at, and I'm also working on possibly some trades here. We're thinking about trading away some picks for next year to help us out, or not next year, how should I say this? Working on trades using picks from the next off season for this coming off season. So we're going to be trying to work on some teams there. And of course, we're going to be, we got some guys that we have to re-sign here. And of course, one of those guys that we've been, I think I've been mentioning here on this series is what do we do about Antonio Brown? Do we go ahead and franchise tag him, or do we let him go? And for right now, with the right amount of money and stuff like that, we're trying to negotiate with him. We may look like a franchise tag with him. And one of the reasons why I think he won't be asking so much money, because he hasn't been throwing the ball that much to him. So we're kind of reducing that. We're trying to get him not so many catches, because he gets a lot of catches and it does work well. Then he's gonna ask for more money, which I know a lot of you guys think that's wrong, but that is a strategy that we're using here, not to mention gives other guys a chance here to fight for that, to be the guy, to be one of the top 3 guys there for wide receivers for next year for us. So we'll see how that goes. And also too, like I said, we're not just offensive linemen and defensive backs we're looking at, but we're also looking at some wide receivers, and there's some pretty good wide receivers in this draft class here. So we'll be looking at some of those here coming up. So I'm trying to look at some possibly a couple second round picks for quite a few teams, and we'll try to do that here coming up here in a future episode here on Steelers Nation. But here, just wrapping up here, getting close to in this video here, take a look at just some of the league news going around here, and take a look at some of the teams and some of the matchups coming up in this next week's games here. As you got some pretty good matchups. So you got Tennessee going against the Texans, which we have not yet played. We'll play them up here, I think, in week 16, along with the Jags coming up in week 17. But there you see the Browns, who we're going to be taking a look at right now before as we wrap up this video. And see here, Browns, there you see 3-10 for the year. And yeah, just it's it's a Cleveland Browns team that we all know, and just can't believe that they can be this bad year in and year out. But they are playing, they are in a tough division with really three tough teams, even though the Ravens right now are not playing as well as they normally do. But the Browns, they got quite a few injuries here. One of the injuries here is a key injury. You got Corey Coleman, the rookie from last year. This year he is out, and he will be out for the next 3 weeks with that dislocated knee. And of course, then you got Arthur Brown, the right outside linebacker, along with Williams Jr. and Sheldon, Danny Sheldon there, the defensive tackle. I got an ACL tear. He's gonna be that his year is over with, along with Brown. But Ryan Fitzgerald there, you see a journeyman who's been with the Jets and Bills and Texans and so many other teams. Fitzgerald is your guy. He is your top quarterback here. Of course, they do have RG3, but I mean, what can we say about RG3? He's pretty much now a backup now. But Ryan Fitzpatrick will be the guy. They'll be leading this ball club, and we'll see what we can do against him. Of course, try to put some pressure on him as usual, and that's we're going to try to throw a lot more blitz packages at him on I think really on second and third downs, especially on third downs. I think that's one thing I've been lacking here, in a lot of some of these games here with blitzes. We don't blitz as much as we should, and we do got guys that are quick enough to get in there and to cause some havoc there. So we'll try to do that here in this game. Josh Gordon, of course, they're they are wide receiver there. They're key wide receiver. There you see the 6'5", 225-pound wide receiver from Baylor. We're going to have him and see what we can do with him. Kind of try to take him out of the game and try to just have them go to their secondary players. I think you got Cornelius, who's another. I think he's I can't think of it. I think his first name is Cornelius, but anyway, he's a wide receiver, one of their backup wide receivers who has great speed. We're gonna try to see if we can, kind of just isolate Gordon and then have him just really just focus in on give Gordon some trouble and double cover, stuff like that, and then have him go to their other receivers, their tight ends, stuff like that. But you see Gordon's numbers this year so far, and kind of a so-so season. But we'll see here. Coming in week 15, we'll see what we can do here against these Browns. Again, a lot of people around say this could be the game that gets us. And if it does, hey, I mean, they deserve it. I mean, they had a tough year here, and they needed something to kind of help them boost their morale and get them going. But we're going to try to do our best to avoid all that and just try to bring home a win. And because I think one of our next 2 games we're on the road. I can't remember if we go to Jacksonville or Jacksonville goes to us, but I think we do go to Jacksonville. I think we end up our last game of the year is in Jacksonville. So we got one more home game, and then we got of course the last game. I believe I have to look and see here is against the Jaguars. So, but week 15 should be a good one. I can't wait, and hopefully you guys will stay tuned for episode 44, I believe. It's that episode, and we'll have the Browns there at Heinz Field, and I believe it's another Thursday night ball game. It's a Thursday night ball game. Yeah, it's a Thursday night game. So we'll see that here. So it'll be in prime time. So this will be a definite game that they will definitely want to win here, because it will be in front of a huge crowd. It'll be a televised game. So. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Pittsburgh Steelers franchise here on the channel. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed today's video. Also, don't forget to subscribe the video or to this series here on the channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr for the latest news and events on what's going on here on the channel. and then what's going on in the world of sports gaming and in sports in general. So thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you guys next time.